All right, here we are once again talking becoming retail. And as always, I'm joined by my partner here, Michelle Grant, and we're going to talk about the customer. And as we continue to crawl through the global survey of 500 leaders, that's really bubbling up as a common theme. Maybe not, or it shouldn't be a big surprise to many. But what we found when we asked what were the key measures for digital transformation, they really revolved around three: customer, financial, and innovation. And with customer specifically, we saw that 50% of the leaders rated that as the number one metric. And when we borrowed into even further, it showed that 65% saw long-term lifetime value as a key metric. So, as we think about this and really bring it to life, Michelle, I know you had a recent interview with a longtime industry veteran where she really talked about the customer and how important it played a role in her career and the success at the company she worked for. Could you share a little bit with the crowd on what you heard and what we learned?
Yes, definitely. Elizabeth Jerry is a long time retail veteran and first time startup founder. So that's exciting for her. And when I've known her, she's always expressed her interest in the customer and her obsession with the customer. And it really starts back from her first retail job at Nordstrom. She's from Seattle. She worked in the stores, and the onboarding process was very much focused on making sure that the customer was happy. After that, she started evolved her career and started at Amazon in the early 2000s, and then went on to Gap to hold marketing and strategy roles. And when she looked back, it was all about the customer for her, understanding the customer from a data perspective, using all of the data available, but also observing the customer in the stores, in her day-to-day life. So she's extremely customer focused in all aspects of her retail career. And that's really not only for her like the right business strategy, but a very important passion of hers was understanding and serving the customer. And so I found that really fascinating. And she even jokes that there's something in the water with Seattle because all of the retailers there are extremely customer focused. Obviously, Amazon is probably the most well known, but for its customer obsession. But you have REI, there's Starbucks, there's Costco. She really she puts it out there to speculate as to what is it about Seattle that makes all the retailers really emphasize the customer.
Yeah, that's great. I recently spoke with Eileen Rizzo. She's the CIO at Ashley Stewart. But, while she's on the technology side now, in her couple of decades of retail experience, had several different roles, including on the business side. And she made a really poignant point regarding the customer. And really, when I asked her what made a successful digital transformation in her experience, she said it all revolved around the customer in really three ways. First is everything must be based on facts and facts around the customer. Second, there must be perseverance and agility, knowing that customer behavior, customer shopping is continually evolving. And third, she really underscored the importance of breaking down the historical silos and doing what's better for the broader organization and the customer. And I thought this was really important given that she played both leadership roles on both the business and IT side, and it continually revolved around the customer.
Yeah, it's great to hear that organizations are embracing the customer no matter what department they're in. Elizabeth worked in marketing as well as strategy, but still retained that customer focus. And Eileen is in the technology division, which enables those business programs to actually work through technology, and she's also customer focused. So it's not just the marketing department that's customer focused or merchandising. It seems that to be successful, that customer mindset has to pervade all aspects of the organization. And now I've switched gears a little bit and ask you about your philosophy around the customer in your career.
Yeah, well, before I answer that, I'll say that, we talk about the customer, but really, let's be honest, who doesn't, right? We talk about putting the customer in the center of everything, but really what we're learning from these leaders is it's really pervasive through the culture in that they're actually prioritizing that over financial metrics, where, one CMO recently said, if we put the customer first, the financial metrics will follow. But to your question, Michelle, I was a strategy consultant for some time with IBM, leading retail strategy globally, and had a CMO customer at one of the largest department stores in the world once say, at the end of the day, we're just solving customer problems. And that really resonated with me, because if I think back to when I led e-commerce at Lids, the specialty hat retailer, really my philosophy was, how do we create convenience and personalization across channels? I would add one dimension to that now, which is safety. So convenience, personalization, and safety. So my philosophy has always been, how do we break down the friction between inspiration and purchase? And if we can do that, and to the CMO's point, break down these pervasive problems that, let's face it, retailers, we as an industry have created for our customers, will actually be there and get to those financial metrics that at the end of the day, most of the street and the industry is looking for. So that's been what I've held on to, and it's no more important than it is now, given the current situation with the global pandemic, digital transformation. So Michelle, thanks so much once again for joining me as we talk about and work through our journey to becoming retail.